Where's my hug? It was a cold, cold night on Plum Street. In a little white house, Mrs. Bear was putting Sam to bed. She closed their favorite book and they both blew out the candle. "Kiss goodnight, Sam," Mrs. Bear said, and wrapped him all cozy in a blanket that was red. But suddenly she heard a cough, and there sat Sam, curled up and small and coughing in his bed. Mrs. Bear put her arms around Sam. Don't you feel well, Sam?" Sam shook his head. Poor Sam. Mrs. Bear hugged him harder and kissed his warm cheek. "You have a cough," she said. And she dashed down the stairs and up again with syrup. "Open wide, Sam," Mrs. Bear said. Sam shook his head. "Tastes bad," he said. "Yes," said Mama, "you need to be brave." Sam put the blanket on his head. "I don't have a cough," Sam said. "Try again, Sam," said his Mama. Sam shook the blanket off his head. He opened up, then closed his mouth tight. "The spoon was too big." "Too big," said Sam. "You can do it," said Mrs. Bear. "I know you can, Sam." Sam opened up, then he closed his mouth tight. "Too much syrup on too big spoon." "Too much," said Sam. Mrs. Bear rubbed frost off the window and peeked outside. "Soon it will snow," she said. "Open wide, Sam, and afterwards we'll go downstairs and wait for the snow." Snow? Sam opened wide, then very wide. He sputtered and snorted and made a big face. The syrup went down. "Brave Sam," he said. Mrs. Bear and Sam held hands on the stairs. Sam wore his robe that was blue and his slippers were too. They lit a fire in the kitchen, then made a pot of tea. Mrs. Bear put extra honey in the tea, and it was nice sliding down. After tea, they sat in a big purple chair near the window and waited for snow. Mrs. Bear told a story about a bear called Sam. Sam liked the story, so she told it again. Went the cough every now and then. Sam leaned back on his mama's soft belly and wiggled it while she talked. The little fire glowed and the kitchen was warm. All through the night, Mrs. Bear and Sam sat in the big purple chair and waited. And finally, it snowed. Look at that. And this is what it looked like after it snowed. Look at that. Look at all that snow. They waited all night for that. The end.